Alright students, Coach Clapier here. I just want to be clear on this assignment, what we're doing here. This is our GTV, the second episode that your class is making. So we're calling it GTV episode 2, even though in actuality it'll be like episode 4, 5, or 6 because each class already did one. So you're going to create a story for this project. It's titled under assignments, under videos and tests on Canvas. It's titled GTV2. That's where you should start. People, please read clearly the criteria for this assignment so that you do it well and you get a good grade. Alright, here's the objective of the assignment. The learning objective is to demonstrate the ability to shoot an interview about a Granger related subject. You can use stories from the list below. You will demonstrate the ability to record the audio at proper levels with 80% accuracy, the ability to focus and white balance the camera with 100% accuracy, and you will demonstrate the ability to light the subject with 50% accuracy. Secondly, your language objective, you will turn in an edited rough draft of your interview with no B-roll, just the interview. I will grade you on audio quality, camera operation, framing, focus, etc. This should actually be changed because you're actually going to turn in a finished one with B-roll. That's part of the criteria. Okay. If you see a bunch of names on here that aren't your class, don't worry about that. Doesn't matter. That's for a different class. I'll change those later. What you do need to pay attention to is the rubric. This is the rubric. This is how it's going to be graded. Alright, so there's 37 points possible, and this is a video and test, so this is a big assignment. This will be the majority of your grade for fourth quarter. So if you botch this up, you will botch up your fourth quarter grade. So please do it right. Alright, your interview questions, if you click on long description, these are worth 4 points. In order to get the full 4 points, you need to interview a person and ask them 5 or more questions. The interviewee will need to restate the questions in a way that makes sense without hearing or seeing the actual question. Coach the person on how to interview correctly. So for example, if I ask a person, why do you like skating? And their answer is because it's fun, that doesn't make any sense in the context of my video. You need to train that person to say, I really enjoy skating because it's fun. But even better, you need to coach them to say something besides just it's fun. Get them to say more, get them to be more detailed. Okay? If you do that correct, you'll get all 4 points, otherwise you'll get somewhere in between. Lighting, it's our first time using lighting, but if you demonstrate the basic 3-point lighting system, you have a backlight separating them from the background. You have the key light filling in most of the one side of the face, and then you have the shadows helping soften some of the shadows on the other side, or a fill light they call it, to help soften the shadows. Then you will have done it correctly and you'll get full points for the lighting. Next is the audio. If the audio sounds good, you'll get 4 points. If it doesn't, you'll get somewhere in between. Framing and shot composition, follow the rule of thirds. If you don't remember what this means, go look at Media College. Make sure you vary your shot in between each shot. Other things that would cost you points are if the camera moves during the interview. So when you ask a question, don't move the camera until after the person finishes answering that question. Then when they're done, you can adjust to a closer shot or a wider shot. Just vary the shot so it looks more interesting when you edit it. That's how you get full points for your framing and shot composition. Then focus, white balance, and iris. If all of these are correct, then you'll get all the points. If it's in focus, if it's white balance, and if it's irised correctly, then you'll get 3 points for that. Now continuity, this is an editing thing. As you edit your story together, you need to make it make sense. It needs to have a good score to it, or a good flow to it. It needs to make sense as you edit the story together with their questions. Alright, then there's the B-roll. We're going to do B-roll differently on this project. After you create your rough cut, you're going to make a list of B-roll shots you want, and you're going to go out and film specific B-roll shots. Okay, you'll be graded on the quality of B-roll you use as well as the way you use it. If the B-roll enhances the story, then you will score more points than if the B-roll distracts from the story. Alright, so B-roll is worth 10 points. That's the majority here. And then your use of music is worth 4 points. Okay, It's our first time incorporating music into a story, so try your best and ask me if you have any questions. So that's how you're going to be scored. Go ahead and prepare for this assignment. There are little assignments, if you look under assignments, that will help you do each step of this process. Okay, pay attention to these as well. There's the GTV episode 2, that's the whole project worth 37 points. Then there's film the interview for GTV 2. That's worth 5 points. You do it, you get 5 points. If you do it late, you get less than 5 points. If you don't do it at all, or you do it too late, that there's no longer any points on the table, then you'll get 0 points. Okay? Then you have to edit a rough cut. Now I'm going to go through on each of these and create a video tutorial on how to do all these. Follow that video tutorial and do these parts of the assignment and you'll get full points. By the way, each person has to create a rough cut, not just one person. Alright, then create a shot list, that should say, not a shot lift, of B-roll. So after you've created your rough cut, your whole group's going to create a rough cut, and then you're going to watch each other's videos. You're going to decide whose you like the best. When you choose which one you like the best, you're going to make a list of which B-roll shots will help complement that video the best, and you're going to go film them. Once you film them, you'll get 5 points. Okay, I'm giving you points just for doing them, but make sure you do them correctly, or else when I grade the entire thing following that grading criteria that I just showed you, then it will drop your score drastically. Okay, so you create your shot list, that's worth 5 points, and you actually shoot your B-roll, that's worth another 5 points. Alright, that's what you have to do. So if you haven't done your interview yet, go watch the videos on how to film your interview correctly. That will be our next part of the process.